Um, Today, the moon is in Libra and will be moving through a square to Mercury, and then later in the day, a square to Mars. So, technically, forming a T square for much of the day today. Some pressure, some challenges. Let's take a look at what it means and how to think about it. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Monday. January 20th, and happy Martin Luther King Day. So, some of us are celebrating the social justice causes today and really looking at themes of the nation and what is transpiring in terms of the beliefs, the attitudes, what is being said, who is sharing information, and who's communicating, how we're communicating, themes of social media, all these interesting stories going on. So, the moon in Libra, first of all, reminds us that we have to get along with one another, right? So Libra is about peace and balance and justice, and getting along with one another does not mean. So the lesson of Libra and the Libra moon is to remember that to bring about peace, we have to find that right balance where we're not compromising or overly sacrificing to become to be used, right? To be a doormat, to be a people pleaser. And so we have to watch for those people pleasing energies and how they might show up as we seek to find peace and balance. And can we just all get along, right? So that's a good thing. Getting along is a good thing. And the Libra moon loves getting along, but we also have to remember that it should not be at the sacrifice of individual voices, of individual perspectives. And so there, in order to have real peace, we have to think about all the different perspectives that need to be seen, heard, valued, and given space, right? So we're thinking about those themes, lots of complexities here. And then as the moon squares Mercury in Capricorn, we have themes of communication. There could be some pressure around communication, some communication glitches, or a need to think about communication in the bigger picture, how to be more effective at messaging, communication, who's telling the story, that type of thing. And then we also have the square of the moon to Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer is an energy of protecting and defending the vulnerable, the things we care about. So, home, homeland, security, and different people have different ideas about the best way to approach that. So, with the Mars in Cancer energy, there are potential for strong feelings on either side, all sides, whatever the sides are, right? Because these can be sides within your own family, they can be sides among different groups of people. There's all kinds of ways these dynamics might show up, but we are looking at themes of feeling defensive, feeling protective, emotional reactivity, a feeling of, this is mine, I care about it, you're not going to, whatever. You're not going to take it away. You're not going to diminish it. You're not going to bring harm to the things I care about, to the things I see as vulnerable or that need protecting, or my home, my place of belonging. Those very Cancerian, Cancer is all about home and security and where we feel safe. And so where we feel the need to protect our cherished, places of safety, of what belongs to us, what is ours. and of course, caring and people we care about, and the vulnerable and those who need protection. So all of these themes being activated as we also today have that sun conjunction with Pluto, the sun joining Pluto at 1 degree Aquarius. The sun went into Aquarius on Sunday, the 19th. And so we have this exact conjunction bringing together, as I was sharing yesterday, the energies of the sun, which is ego, self-expression, being who we are in the world, but also together with Pluto, a need to rethink, to have transformation and opportunities for healing around how we see ourselves, how we share, how we shine our light, how we express ourselves, how we think about ourselves, and that the ego is not always a bad thing. The ego can be harmful when it is allowed to run amok, right? When it's allowed to rule the show, run the show. But the ego can also be useful when we use our egos to say, this is me, this is how I operate in the world, and I can use my ego to get in alignment with my bigger truth, my spiritual values, my principles, and my ego can help me live that way in the world. So what does that look like? That could look like your ego is the part of you that is operating in your daily life. So it could be the part of you that says, okay, I'm going to show up and do what I'm good at and be who I am in the world. I'm going to speak from my own style of speaking. I'm going to share from my own style of who I am, how I see myself. And so that can be harmful when that becomes superficial, right? When it's all that we're thinking about. But when we are allowing that ego self, that way of showing up in the world, that way of being, that way of expressing who we are, allowing that to work together with our deeper truth that says, yes, this is how I like to be, how it feels good to be, but also I am working together with the part of me that has something deeper to share, to express a deeper truth that is meaningful to me. And so I'm going to use my superficial sort of ability to navigate through the world, right? Like the ways that I've learned how to be myself and be my own personality, but also be a good person with that, right? So we can use our ego to be a good person, a good version of who we are when we are doing our own soul and spiritual work to have self-awareness, to examine our patterns and our ways of either playing into the patterns of the past that are maybe not so healthy, or showing up for healing, to be more vulnerable. You know how when you maybe have a conflict with a friend, and if that conflict doesn't get addressed, how it can kind of fester and become a problem in the relationship. But if the conflict is met head on, you move into that uncomfortable space of, let's talk about something that's not comfortable to talk about. Maybe your ego gets a little bit of a hit, right? It gets knocked down a little bit because you don't get to be the hero. You don't get to feel good about things. But at the same time, it is the ability to let yourself be vulnerable that might help you work through that conflict with that friend and be able to have a stronger relationship because of it, right? So hopefully that kind of helps you understand what I'm trying to say. But it's all about balance. And so it's all about finding this right balance between feeling good and getting to be who we are, but also not letting that run amok, not letting our ego self be in charge of making all the decisions, right? So thinking from our deeper selves, our deeper needs, our deeper truths. And I think we're going to be confronting some of these questions with the complicated energies of the day today. Again, some challenging energies with the moon squaring Mercury and Mars, communication and action, defensiveness, some pressure here to ask ourselves the deeper questions. Who are we? How are we being? And so for self-care, thinking about all of these things in terms of the self, right? So how am I showing up? What does that look like? Am I being my best self? Am I finding a place of balance where I'm not silencing my voice and I'm also not dominating with what makes my ego feel good, but I'm also having that balance to both speak and listen, both act and be the beneficiary of actions, right? Be the recipient of the forces that are taking action in the world. So finding that right balance, acting from the heart, acting from a deeper truth, and being willing to be vulnerable, so that we can do this deeper healing that needs to happen and hopefully be part of creating a future that is uh, healing in the ways we want it to be healing. And so yesterday's video, I talked about Pluto in Aquarius, and I talked about these bigger picture energies and what is unfolding and how we can think about it in terms of embracing our vision for the future and being in alignment with what will create that vision. So check out yesterday's video for more. And thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me and how to work with me at astrologyheals.com. I have a special offer for a Mars retrograde reading available right now. So check that out. Thank you for being here and subscribing. I so appreciate you, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.